I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. How the hell are you? I am a little excited about today's video. We are here to do the mid-year freakout book tag, and I'm trying to contain myself, but I'm freaking out inside. I'm a little excited. Let's get into it. Okay. Alright, yes, we are here to do the mid-year freakout book tag. Y'all know I love my tags, but here's the thing. This one I've been most excited for because I've been watching BookTube for quite some time, and I've been watching this tag for quite some time. Although this tag has not been around as long as BookTube has, it has been around for quite a many years, and without fail, it is the one tag that I gravitate towards every single year. I basically go down a rabbit hole watching these tag videos. This year I've held off until I can get my video up. That is like my reward for getting my video up, is then I can binge this content. But I'm really excited to watch everybody's content, and I'm really excited to do this tag because it's my first year being able to do it. I started my channel around August last year, so I just missed it. And already it was like in the books. This is what's happening. If I'm still around come June, come the middle of 2023, this tag is for sure getting done. So I'm a little excited about this one. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop doing what I tend to do best, which is ramble, and let's get into the mid-year freakout book tag, shall we? Question number 1, the best book so far in 2023. I couldn't just pick one. There's quite a few of these questions where I just couldn't pick one, so bear with me, but I am going to try to, run through these pretty quickly. The best book so far first was Redeeming 6 from Chloe Walsh. This is the second book from Joey and Aoife, but it is the 4th book in the Boys of Toman series. If you're not familiar with the Boys of Toman and Chloe Walsh, like, where you been? What you been doing? What rock have you just crawled out from under? Also, if you've been around this channel, like, you know, I know. I mean, were we surprised? But were we surprised? But, like, really, were we? This series is not even finished yet, but it has become just one of my favorite series of all time. I just absolutely love all these characters. I don't really want to get too much into these. They follow kind of a formula of 2 books for each couple. This is the second book, so it's like the conclusion of the couple. But just specifically this one, this is where, like, this is the meat of the story. The first one, we get to see how Joey and Aoife meet, their relationship leading up to their actual relationship, because they were friends first. And then this is where they are basically in it. They're in it to win it, and the struggles that they deal with. It's not a spoiler to say Joey deals with some substance abuse issues, and amongst other things, that is his self-medication. It is a very emotional story, but they're just great. So, best book of 2023. But I also have one more. It is a more recent read, and that would be Reckless from Elsie Silver. This one might even top Heartless for me. I know, but hear me out. It was so good. It was just fantastic from start to finish. This follows Winter and Theo. Theo, we have already met. He was in the first book of the series, which is Flawless. He is a bull rider. He is Rhett's protege, and he meets Summer's sister, who is Winter. They have a one-night stand, which turns into a pregnancy, and it was just amazing. It was chock full of everything. It had the spice, it had the banter, it had the emotions, it had the swoon, it just had everything all wrapped up into a pretty little bow, and I loved it. So, my second favorite of the year. Sorry, not sorry. Question number 2, the best sequel so far in 2023. Hands down, this is going to be The Lost Fisherman by Jewel E. Ann. This is the follow-up to The Naked Fisherman. So this is actually a duet. You get The Naked Fisherman and then The Lost Fisherman. I am not going to tell you about anything from The Lost Fisherman because, well, it's a sequel. And, like, why would I do that? But it does follow Reese, and it follows Fisher. Reese is an 18-year-old who kind of feels like a preteen. or a very young teenager, in the sense that she's just really naive. She's been sheltered all of her life, but she is doing a little bit of soul searching. She's looking for just something new. She doesn't know what she wants to do now that she's graduated. Does she want to go to college? What is she going to do? So she decides to go and see her mother, who she hasn't seen in quite a many years for other instances. And when she visits her mother, she meets Fisher, and their relationship blooms from there. But what makes The Lost Fisherman such a great sequel is the way that this book turned this entire duet around for me, and the just amazing growth from one character. I haven't seen that much growth and that much change in a character in quite a long time. Like, I just can't think of another book off the top of my head that's done that, and I think that's why it blew me away, and I absolutely love this book. I definitely think that you should pick this duet up if you haven't already. Question number 3. New release you haven't read yet, but you want to. Okay, I have a few for this one as well. The first one being The Choice by Ashley Jade. I haven't read this one yet because this is another duet, and I think The Choice came out in, I want to say, like, maybe February this year, and The Consequence was set to come out the following month, but there was a couple snags with that. No biggie, but that's why I waited, because I kind of wanted to piggyback those two. Now, The Consequence is kind of like a to be determined at this point. I haven't heard much about it. I also haven't really looked into it that much, because it's kind of been on the back burner for me, but it's definitely something that I want to read before the end of the year. What else do I have? Ooh, I have The Tryst by Lauren Blakely. Now, I kind of want to go into this one a little bit blind. However, I do know that this is a single dad. It's a forbidden romance, and I believe the female character ex-boyfriend this is his dad. So, I mean, you guys, that's me to a T right here. I mean, we have age gap, we have a forbidden romance, we've got a little bit of taboo and the ex-boyfriend's dad, and I'm kind of leaning towards the fact that I think I like the daddies a little bit. So, yeah, I definitely want to read this one. I can't believe I haven't read this one yet. This is why this tag is so good, because it puts this kind of shit right in your face and say, hey, read me, do this. So, yeah, let's move on. Question number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Again, not just one. There are so many. And the thing is like, we haven't even gotten the full lineup of October, November, and December yet. So I'm sure that there's going to be even more good stuff to devour. But what I have so far is Anti-Hero by Sarah Kate. It is the first book in her new series. It comes out on July 14th. What else do I have? Minx by Sophie Lark. This comes out on June 21st. So, like, we're like right there. That was kind of like unexpected and a surprise. So I'm really excited about that one. We have Tell Me What You Want by Lucia Franco. This is another to be determined. We don't have the release date quite yet, but I feel like it's coming very soon. This is a cam girl, brother's best friend romance, and I'm here for that. Yes, ma'am. We have A Fate of a Royal, which comes out on July 7th. This is by Megan Brady. I haven't read anything by her, but she duetted this with Amo Jones, and y'all know I love me some Amo Jones, so I'm in, yes. And let's see, we have Madam, which is Eden's story from the Salacious Players Club. That comes out on October 12th. Hopeless, which is Beau's story from the Chestnut Springs. Elsie Silver, that comes out on October 13th. Meet Your Match by Candy Steiner, that comes out on July 7th. And we have Crossed by Emily McIntyre, comes out on August 1st. I told you I couldn't just pick one. Question number 5, biggest disappointment. Magnolia Parks. The Magnolia Parks universe. I'm not going to lie, I only got through one. I'm very proud of myself for getting just through one. I do not have any interest no, we're good. There was another one. It was one of the first books. It might have been the first book that I read this year. Slip of the Tongue by Jessica Hawkins. I love Jessica Hawkins. Something in the Way series. There's a 4-book series. It is one of my favorite series. I absolutely love that series. But this one just didn't do it for me. It just had, I don't like heroines who are really annoying and are consistently annoying and just stupid throughout the entire book with no character development. And that's basically what the whole thing, it just didn't make sense to me. So big disappointment. Huge. Question number 6, biggest surprise. I'm going to go back to the Lost and Naked Fisherman duet. This one was one of the biggest surprises of the year for me because I just mentioned I'm not a big fan of just stupid heroines that do stupid shit and are just annoying. However, yes, Reese was like this, but it was more of an innocent, naive character who she didn't know any better, and that is why she's on this journey. She's learning, and throughout the first book, things happen. The second book is where we see this dramatic change. She has completely evolved. She's a little bit older. She's just a different person. Still has her same tendencies. Is still going to make mistakes, but has grown so much. And it was such a difference from the first to the second book, the way that these characters really grow together. It was such a great duet. Absolutely loved it. Definitely one that I would want to read again, knowing what I know now. Would I feel a little bit different about the first one? Would she not irritate me as much because I know what's going to happen? So definitely that one. Also, I wasn't 100% sure. I'm not going to lie. I was not going to pick up the second book while I was reading this because Reese just was getting on my nerves, and I could have just been in like that mood while I was reading. But it kept me turning pages, and I wanted to see what was going to happen. So it wasn't like there was no maybe I should DNF this. It wasn't like a Magnolia Parks thing. It was I just really want to strangle this girl. But the way that the first book ends, it's just like this kind of cliffhanger where you're like, well, shit, now I got to read this. So glad that I did. So glad that there was that little cliffhanger there because it totally turned this entire duet around for me, and it's one of my favorites. Another book that was a big surprise for me this year was The Summer We Fell by Elizabeth O'Rourke. Elizabeth O'Rourke was honestly like a surprise author for me anyway, but this book, I didn't expect the things that happen in this book to happen. I did go into it a little blindly, but I don't recall the blurb like really telling you kind of what is going on, but it definitely wasn't what I was expecting. It was so much more. This is about Juliet. She doesn't have the greatest home life, and her boyfriend Danny does. His home life is completely different. His father is the pastor of the town. They live in a small coastal town, and his mother is like the quintessential mom's mom. And they take her in. They allow her to live with them so that she doesn't have to be in the environment that she's in. And she works herself tirelessly. But when Danny comes home from college, he brings his new best friend, Luke, who is just a breath of fresh air to Juliet. He's a big surfer, like really big into surfing. So to come home to this coastal town with Danny is like a no-brainer for the summer. And Juliet and him, there's like a miscommunication there, but you can tell as the reader, like, he pushes her in a way that nobody else pushes her because he sees something that nobody else in her life sees. Even though she's not being treated like she was at home, she's not being treated as an equal, but Luke sees something else. There is a switch from past to present, which I really enjoyed, but they form a little bit of a relationship throughout the summers that he stays in the coastal town, and that grows to be a little bit more. But remember, she has a boyfriend, so there's a little bit of a sticky situation there, and it was just really good. It was a very surprising read for me, and I think about it often. Like, I think that's what surprises me is like I come back to it often. I'm like, that was such a good book. Question number 7. Favorite new author. This could be a debut or a new to you. I don't have a debut author, but I do have a couple new authors to meet for this year. One being really embarrassed about this, but it's Kennedy Ryan. I know. Like, why haven't I read anything from her until just recently, really? I don't know, because there are so many books that I've had on like my wish list and my TBR from her that I haven't gotten to. But yeah, she is a new to me author, and I get it. Like, I get the hype, y'all. whew, yes, she is phenomenal storyteller, and her words slay me. So I can't wait to dive into her backlist because I got some reading to do for sure. My other new favorite author for this year is hands down Neva Altaj. Absolutely love her writing, fly through her writing. The Perfectly Imperfect series is a phenomenon. I believe it's like blowing up right now, but I actually have you guys to thank for it, because when I did a poll earlier on in the year and I was like, what is your favorite books of 2022? What are things that I have to read? This is one of the things that were recommended, and I have to thank you. I mean, obviously I probably would have found her, but probably not until like right now. Absolutely fell in love with the first book, and I've kind of been slowly working my way through it. They're very short books too. They're very quick reads. This is, and I've said this before, this is one of the series that I've read, or some of the books that I've read, where I like would not mind if they were a little bit longer, because they're just that good. This is a mafia romance series. They are damaged heroes, really strong heroines, and I think that's like one of the other things that I love about her is she writes some strong heroines. I mean, I just can't wait to dive into the rest of the books. I plan on reading a few more of the books this month. She has another book coming out. It's next month or the month after. I don't even think that I put that on my list for anticipated releases. Her 7th book is coming out July or August. Maybe it's summer. I can't remember. It's coming out soon, so put that on the list for whatever number question that was. I can't believe I forgot that. But I'm just going to binge it. So I'm going to read a few for this month, and I think I'm going to read the 6th and the 7th one. Yeah, I think it does come out next month. So I plan on reading the 6th one and the 7th one when they come out next month. So yeah, 2 new authors that blew it out of the park for me this year, and more backlists that I have to read. Score. Question number 8. Newest fictional crush. Theo from Reckless by Elsie Silver. I just swooned the entire time that I read this. He kept getting better and better and better. I couldn't get enough. Theo. Let's move on. Question number 9. Favorite character. Willa. Willa for sure, from Heartless by Elsie Silver. Her quick wit, she's strong. I love it. The banter. But just the fact that, like, I am who I am, there are no apologies for who I am. I will stick up for what I believe. Anybody gets in my way, be damned. I just loved everything about her. I love the way she rallied around Luke, Cade's son. I loved it. And it was funny, and it was amazing. I loved her. What else? But also, I got to give a shout out to my girl Maggie from Mercy by Sarah Kate. Ooh, I love these. I love the growth. Like, I love strong heroines, and I love to see the growth, and that's what I saw here. You don't really get too much of Maggie in the first, 4 books prior to her? Or is she the 4th? Yeah, she's the 4th. So in the first 3 books, you do get Maggie, but she's very quiet. She's very, not secretive, but she's just quiet. Like, she doesn't divulge all of her shit like the other characters do. But she was always really intriguing to me. And so in Mercy, getting to hear her story, getting to see her come out of her skin a little bit more when she really embraces her kink, and that just expands on her character. I loved her. So, yes. Question number 10. A book that made you cry. I haven't really cried this year from a book, but I have teared up, and I have shed a tear or two. But I haven't, like, full-on cried. I don't think that is what the question is asking, but I'm just telling you because I ramble. It's what I do. But I did shed a couple tears in Redeeming 6 because Aoife, my girl, another strong, badass heroine, she went through some shit with Joey. Joey, my boy, went through some shit, and it was just emotional. It was emotional on many, many levels. You had to relive things from the first 2 books that are just really, really heartbreaking, but you're seeing it from a different side. I teared up. During that part, I teared up with, I mean, it's not a surprise, not a spoiler. Joey and Eva have a child. They do get pregnant. Her pregnancy is all through this book, but that relationship made me tear up as well. So, yes, Redeeming Six made me cry. Also, Before Us by Julie Ann, specifically Susie's plot storyline, that definitely made me cry. Yeah, again, it's been a minute since I read that one. I wasn't like sobbing. Like, I'm thinking crying like when I read Keeping 13 from Chloe Walsh. I mean, I needed a box of tissues. I've never cried like that with another book, but I do tear up a little bit. She was one of my favorite characters, and she is not the character that even the book is about. The book is about Emerson and Susie's husband, Zach. But Susie's role in this book, and just the heart that she has, the strength that she has, and just the legacy that she leaves, it was good. It was a good book. So definitely read that one if you haven't read it, but be warned, it would be a little emotional. It'd be a little emotional. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. I have to go right back to Reckless, guys. I know, I'm sorry, but listen, legitimately was smiling through like 90% of this book. I laughed out loud. I was legitimately happy reading this book. It just made me happy. Not only did it have all the things that I love embodied in one, it had your spice, it had real good spice, your dirty talk Theo. It had Theo, my main man Theo, my new book crush, my new boyfriend. It just made me happy. So there's nothing else to say. This is the answer to my question. Question number 12. The most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. Okay, now here is where people will bust out these absolutely gorgeous books or special editions to their favorite books. I don't have any of that, but I did find a book that I think is beautiful, and that is Anastasia by Sophie Lark, specifically the illustrations. So if you don't know, like, she had illustrations made for this book. I do wish that she would have offered this book as a colored edition as well, because the illustrations are colored. So I did end up purchasing the Kindle edition so that I could look at the illustrations in color and just pull it up on your phone or your iPad or whatever you have. But they're absolutely gorgeous. I love them. I haven't read this book yet. That's another one that I need to get to this year, but it is really pretty. So that is going to be my most prettiest book this year. Question number 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? A whole shit ton? Like, a lot. Like, there are many books that I want to read before the end of the year. So I figured I'm going to make this a little bit easier. I'm not going to talk about any books that I know are already on a TBR list, or any new releases that I know that I will be putting on a TBR list. I'm going to go with books that are kind of like on a backlist TBR, if that makes sense, that I need to add them to my monthly TBRs. So there is the Grip Trilogy by Kennedy Ryan. I'm sure it's going to be like one of my favorites. Like I said, the hype is real. When somebody says it's a good book and it's Kennedy Ryan, like, I know now they ain't lying. So that is definitely one that I want to get to. Let's see, The Five by Lily White. I want to get to the rest of the Fallen Men series by Gianna Darling. I know, I've dragged that out. It's going to be another, I need a marathon binge read these, because I also want to get to the Kimura Chronicles by Cora Riley. I haven't read those yet, I know. But you know what? Perfectly Imperfect series, Neva Altaj, it kind of like took over. Because like, it's like one of the best Mafia series that I've read. If we need to do a whole video on those, like, we totally will. But such a good series. Let's see, what else do I want to get to? Oh, June 1st by Jennifer Hartman. It's in the same realm as Still Beating and Lotus, I believe. Like, some of the characters are crossover characters. I haven't gotten to that one yet. It's been on my list like every month for a few months. I definitely want to get to that one. Let's see, what else? Honestly, those are just the books that I can think of off the top of my head, but there's a lot. Like, I really I want to get to a lot, and I will get to a lot. I am not in a race to read a specific amount of books. I just read what I want, when I want, and as it is, I want to read. And I've done really well. I think I'm almost to the 60 book mark for the year, which that is good for me. Honestly, anything really is good for me, but I'm projecting to read more than I read last year. And if I don't, that is okay. If I do, that is okay as well. It's just a journey of learning what I like and reading what I like and learning new stuff along the way. So that, I don't even know we need to wrap this up. So I hope that you enjoyed this tag. If you are planning to do this tag, or if you've already done this tag, please let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Link your video in the comments below if you have, so that I can come and show you some love and watch your video, because like I said, this is one of my favorite tags. I watch it every year. Now that I've finished my video, as my reward, like I said, I get to watch all of the new mid-year freakout book tags that everybody else has put up, and I can't wait. I can't wait. So if you've done it, please link it down below, because I want to watch it. I can't wait to see what everybody's answers are. So that is going to do it for today, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, so we can all freak out to books together. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.